You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost. Tell me your blue skies fade to gray. Tell me your passion's gone away. And I don't need no carrying on. You stand in the line just to hit a new low. You're faking a smile with the coffee to go. And tell me your life's been way offline. You fall into pieces every time. And I don't need no carrying on. Cause you had a bad day. You're taking one down. You sing a sad song just to turn it around. You say you don't know. You tell me don't lie. You're working a smile and you go for a ride. You had a bad day. The camera don't lie. You're coming back down and you really don't mind. You had a bad day. You had a bad day.
Welcome in, Frosty Takes episode 52. A lot to get to, a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lot of arguing on the show, I can already tell. Bears are 0-2. They look like shit. Everyone on the team looks like shit pretty much. Can't say this is surprising after last week. A lot the smart people on this podcast said they would lose the game in Tampa on Sunday. Boys, we're back. Niloff, I'm going to kick it over to you because you've been the most boisterous arguing with everyone, it seems like, in the chat, and I will let the floor be yours.
I thought you were going to go to Bruce. I thought I had some time here.
No?
So just recap the game. Thoughts?
Do whatever you want.
All right. Well, I'm just going to read what I put together here for the folks back home. I will try to do this as quickly as possible, but bear with me. First and foremost, I'm going to start this off by saying this is not all on Justin Fields. Does he have to get better? Abso-fucking-lutely. There were misplays that he has to make 100% of the time. No excuses on those, but I think there's still that piece that can develop, and we just need to see him be more decisive. But the fact that people are turning on this guy 2 weeks into the season is fucking embarrassing. People calling for Tyler Badgett, embarrassing. There are 15 games left. Have some fucking faith. Whether people like it or not, nothing's going to change at QB. There's no immediate change that's going to fucking turn this ship around this year. Ride or die with your fucking your guy and grow a pair of fucking balls. We've done this time and time again. We turn on a guy. We did it to Trubisky, rightfully so, but it happens over and over and over again. We booed the offense early in the game. If there's one thing that Flus has said in the last 2 weeks that I appreciate and respect, it's the fact that he's calling the fans out and says have some fucking faith, basically, and back the Bears, because we never fucking do. And I think now's the time. But I got to be honest with you. I'm not out on Justin Fields. That's what I want to talk about really, really quick and briefly, and I'll cut this off and make it a lot shorter. Obviously some misplays, but the offense as a whole just looks like a fucking nightmare. You got assignments on the play sheet that don't make sense. You got guys missing assignments, and our quarterback doesn't seem to want to pull the trigger. But what I want to highlight is the fact that Nick says that he's got to learn and develop, and it's okay that he's dropping back 35 times. You're not rolling him out. We're not seeing him run. Nick seems to want that. Why would you take a guy's strength away? Why would you take the thing that makes him special and what separates him from the fact that he can do that? Not many other quarterbacks in this league can. I'm not saying fucking every single play should be like that, but we can still do a 50-50 split. He can still develop as a pocket passer. But the fact that people are out on this guy, it's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
So who, if it's not on Fields, who is it on more, in your opinion, out of the
Fields is part of the problem. That's why I said, like, he's got to make some of those throws that he missed. And he's got to read it a little bit better. The footwork looks a little bit off, but it looks like they tried to change the footwork. I think it's a collective. I think we're targeting on the QB here, but I think it's collective. I think you got Luke Getsy calling plays, and while it looked better this week than it did week one, there's still some shit that he is the one that has to be responsible for putting it together, where it doesn't make sense.
Okay, and I'm going to defend myself here first, just
Yeah.
because you're coming at me for it, and I
I'm not
don't-
coming at just you. This is more so just for the public, honestly, because I mean the fact that we're seeing this shit, it's week fucking 2.
Yeah, but Josh, it's week 2 after an offseason where you made significant upgrades in areas, and if we're being honest, if the quarterback play was a little better in both weeks, you win both of those games. Maybe not week 1, but it's a hell of a lot closer. And if he hits the open guys that are there, we're not talking about 0-2. And that's why it's so demoralizing and people are turning on him because they've lost 12 straight games, 9 straight to the Packers, 10 straight to the division. At some point, you need to win. This isn't this regime does not have, oh, let's just get by, see develop. That's gone. This is year 2. You lost 11 straight last year. You're running out of time, and you have a third-year quarterback who's supposed to take a significant jump in the third year and
Still
hasn't.
can.
He absolutely. There are 15 games left, and I'm not totally out on him yet. All I'm saying is I've seen this movie before, and a part of it absolutely is the coaching staff, and that's a major issue because polling came in to recommend someone when we already had a GM. It's George McCaskey being George McCaskey, and this is all before Kevin Warren was here. Problem is the coaching staff collectively is letting him down, but there are a handful of plays, and I have the QB school of the All-22 I'm watching right now that he can make, and they're in or winning these games. And to put your point, why not run? Why not do that? Absolutely. To win games in the short term and save their ass, the coaching staff should do that to at least start winning some games.
Even if he was making those throws that you're talking about, that should still be a part of the game plan. That should still be a part of him. It looks like I said it to myself 3 fucking times on Sunday. I'm watching this game and I'm watching him sit in the pocket for so long. And it's like they fucking told him not to fucking leave it. It's like they told him not to scramble because he didn't even think about going most of the time. And that's part of something that makes him special. If he develops as a fucking pocket passer and you have something that really nobody else has. Apart from maybe Jalen Hurts can make some of those plays. Lamar Jackson can make some of those plays. But he's also not a very good fucking passer of the football. So
yeah, and
why take that out ever? It doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna come out and say that he'll never be like what we want him to be in terms of in the pocket passer, which is fine. But like many people have talking about in Chicago media, then that limits his ceiling incredibly. And it begs the question, if you do walk into a first round pick with probably one of the deepest quarterback draft classes we've seen in a long time, why are you going to give Justin Fields an extension when you can go get the guy you want?
It's too soon, in my opinion, and it goes back to the point that I was trying to make earlier. It's too soon to be talking about that shit, man. We're fucking 2 weeks into a season.
So you'd be fine.
And nobody does it. Preseason's not the same as it used to be. Nobody fucking actually gets anything out of this preseason other than fucking trying to learn more so from a fucking screen.
Well, I will say one person who did say things didn't look right all preseason when he was there was Sylvie of Waddle and Sylvie. He said even in 11-on-11s it looked like shit, and it's fucking translating. So maybe there should be a little more focus into the preseason. And someone who did have a good preseason is Jordan Love, and he looks pretty good, even though we'll get to the Packers, Dylan.
You can't teach physical fucking attributes. You can teach the shit that we're talking about with reads.
Ryan, we'll go to you as kind of, I think you're fair when it comes to the Bears and don't have much set either one way or the other. What do you think of what you've seen of Fields, and what do you think is the ultimate fix, or is he out of town by the end of the year? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I don't know if he's out of town. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did not watch the entire game. I was kind of switching back and forth between that and the Raiders game, both pretty shitty. But like Josh alluded to, he's not a pocket passer, and he'll never be the pocket passer you want him to be. But that's kind of why you took him where you took him. You took him for his athleticism. He's got a strong arm. Sometimes he doesn't know where it's going, but you got to roll him out. Getsy's been too conservative with a lot of his play calling. Fields has missed a ton of throws, like the seam route to, I think, Herbert against Buccaneers, where he's wide open and instead Fields took a sack. But it's on a lot of people. That line sucks right now. You're getting pretty decent play out of your tackles, but the guards and center are pretty bad. Claypool's an embarrassment still, and I know he caught the touchdown, but
I do want to throw in
pretty
there.
bad.
Cole Kmet looks fucking awful.
Yeah.
Blocking, catching, doing anything on the football field, he looks gross.
So that supporting staff that you talked about, you invested. DJ Moore looks good because you fed him last game like you should. Everyone else looks pretty bad. That entire offense just looks out of sync. And I think we
overgave it to the offense.
Yeah. I think everyone was so excited.
And I'll be the first to admit it. Yeah, like the excitement's there, and I think we got to realistically look at this. Like, is Darnell Mooney or Chase Claypool really a fucking 2?
Or is Velus Jones the best 4th receiver in NFL history? I don't know.
That guy needs to get cut. Give me EQ.
It's also tough. It's tough when you bring Velus in. Like, you have to include him in more than one play because you know he's getting the ball.
It's like when the Saints
supposed to be a special teams guy. We went out and we got a guy when we were the number 1 on the fucking waiver order. We went out and got a guy to fucking do that. So why is he here? So you can run one fucking play where he's in motion and you fucking hike it and you hand it right back to him or fucking flip it in front of him. It doesn't happen. Nothing good ever comes out of that.
But the thing is, we all focus on the offense so much, and granted we should because that's what they're supposed to be investing in. But that defense looked bad. Both your starting safeties either left for the entire game or left for majority of it. Your cornerbacks do not.
That defense still did enough to keep them in the game, though. That's something I forgot. They were in the game. If you don't run fucking three of the same fucking screens in a row, maybe we see a drive and maybe we take it to overtime.
Let me leave you the Bears' defensive stats. The Bears' defense against the pass on 3rd and 4th down this year, against them, the quarterback is 20 of 23, 87%, 282 yards, 12.3 yards per play, and 3 touchdowns. 8 15-plus yard receptions allowed. And the quarterback has an average of 8.5 seconds to throw the ball back there. And the passer rating of those quarterbacks are 157.3 on 3rd and 4th down. If you're not getting off the field on 3rd and 4th down as a defense, you're not doing your job. They did it that one time in the 4th quarter. That was it.
But we know that's where the
defense, based on the people on the fucking roster, the defense did enough on Sunday. They held them to 20 points because the 7 to get fucking Tampa Bay to 27 was that fucking dumbass pick. 20 points.
Bruce,
would anybody if I tell any of you if I ask you if I said that we're only going to allow 20 points, the defense is only going to allow 20 points today.
I wouldn't believe you right there.
Would any of you have a problem with that?
Well, I would say I'm not sure that's enough because the offense is fucking terrible.
20
so, yes, I would have a problem.
I'm saying, given the staff that we have, the personnel.
What person? You're saying these guys like they deserve praise for who they are. They're not good. Flus, defense, shove it right up your ass. Stop playing cover 2. Doesn't work. You need to blitz. You need to rush decisions. He doesn't do it. It's not good enough, especially on 3rd down. It's not good enough. The whole defensive – this is what you're not realizing is this whole staff, if they don't start winning games, gone. That means your boy Fields, gone. Bruce.
I'm just saying, though, if you get a top pick, I'm fine punting Fields in his 4th year if you're going to draft a Williams or Drake May.
100%.
That's all I'm saying.
100%.
You buy yourself 5 more years.
100%. And this is about winning games, right? You look at the fucking roster, there is nothing on the O-line outside of the dude we just drafted. And there is nothing on the D-line besides maybe one interior guy who's like a kind of a backup, kind of not. So that signals to me Dexter, I thought he had a pretty good game.
Gervin Dexter hasn't won a pass rush this entire year.
Then never mind.
Sure.
Then never mind. You have no one on the defensive line. You have no one on the you have first round pick, who I can't remember his fucking name, on the
Darnell
first.
Wright.
A Darnell Wright. That's one offensive lineman.
I mean, Tevin Jenkins when healthy.
You-
Is
it's
fucking
not the
crippled.
point. The
When
best.
healthy.
What I told Bruce did
What, for fucking 7 quarters of his goddamn career? Fuck
Right.
Kevin Jenkins.
Dude, you're not these guys. You can't count on these guys. So that tells me you need 2 more drafts right there. So this whole wild card this year, division, that shit's the way it's trending, it's gone. And who also is gone? The entire staff, along with Fields, and you bring in another quarterback who's gonna fucking learn with the young guys for the next 2 years, and then hopefully in 2 years you're ready to go. But that's the way it's trending. I hope it doesn't happen. And that was my point I was trying to make to you in the text. It's like, dude, I don't want it to trend that way. But that's the way it's trending. If the staff doesn't win games, if this staff wins 5 or 6 games, they are fired. It is over. And if Fields doesn't look better at all, he's gone too. And then what if you get the 1 or the 2 or the 3 or the 4? You have to consider taking a quarterback. Bruce, I'll let you talk. Sorry.
I mean, where do I start? Obviously the game was horrible. Justin Fields, we've already touched on it. He's missing open guys. He's just not seeing things. I said it in the group chat, and I got it from Big Cat on Pardon My Take Friday. I think Justin Fields he's got a big problem with waiting for his guys to get as open as they did at Ohio State. And I think a lot of it is he's seeing guys, and he's seeing that they're NFL open, and he's waiting on them. Like when he's making his reads, he'll see a guy and he'll be like, oh, he might come open. And then he'll fixate. And then when it doesn't happen, I don't know what the thought process is in his head, but he's just not trusting his arm to make throws into tighter windows. And that's a huge problem. He's overthinking everything, or he's just, I could just be giving him too much credit, and he just doesn't know how to read defenses at all,
100%.
or how to progress through routes. I don't know what the issue is, but I think a lot of it is he's holding on to the ball, trying to wait for his guys to just get that extra half step that you just don't get in the NFL. And he needs to just start saying, fuck it, I got a strong arm, I'm gonna try to fit this in there.
Yeah, it's all anticipation throws in the NFL, and he just doesn't do that well. And you're saying you're putting a lot of blame on the staff, and rightfully so. But at the same time, I know this offense. Getsy said it a bunch of times. Flus said it too. Anytime he goes up to the line of scrimmage, he has 2 plays he can go with. So if you don't understand how to read a defense, and you don't understand what the defense is doing, you don't know whether to audible out of the 3rd screen in a row or whatever the fuck it is. I'm just throwing that out there too. I'm playing devil's advocate because I think it's 50% the situation and the coaching and 50% Fields. It's gone up. I thought it was more the staff. And then you watch the film, and I'm going to give it 50-50. The Chicago Bears have set Justin Fields up to fail from day one. 100%. No doubt about it. Nagy thing, lame duck coach, you draft him, all this bullshit. But at some point, like we saw last year, it doesn't matter about the scheme. It doesn't matter about the coaching. The quarterback will find a way. And Fields did that from week 7 on last year. But now we're seeing the same thing we saw at the beginning of last year, which is like, what are we doing? This is your 3rd year. These are the same problems we saw day 1. Bruce said it best. He looks like how he did when we drafted him.
It's pretty. He's very raw still, which going into year 3, you don't. If you're trusting this guy to be your franchise quarterback, he can't be just raw talent still.
No. And don't even bring up, I think win-loss records for a QB are similar to that of a pitcher. He's 6-23 in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on a bad team. You have to find a way to win some of these games, and he just hasn't. And that is a concern.
I know I sent it in the group chat, but through 27 career starts, Mitch has better numbers than Justin Fields in everything but rushing yards. A higher completion percentage. It was like 1,000 more yards passing. They had the same amount of touchdowns.
And Mitch has a
Mitch was sacked less, despite having arguably a worse line for a couple years, which is hard to believe because our line is so goddamn bad. But yeah, I mean, it's just part of it has to be the system, obviously. Like you said, Fields has to be able to audible out of running the third fucking screen pass in a row on first down on the same drive. But the offense shouldn't be calling those plays in the first place. I know Nick said it a bunch of times Sunday and Monday to Josh as we were talking about it, that you've got to throw screen passes when you can't block, but you can't just continue to, like, they threw that same pass 8 times.
Yeah,
Most good teams throw 8 screen passes in a game. We ran the same screen pass 8 times. That's just unacceptable play calling, no matter how you want to look at it. So there's just so many issues going on with this team right now. It's frustrating, and it's so goddamn familiar, and I'm starting to get sick of it. I'm not giving up yet. I need to clarify that because I pick against the Bears later on in this show. I'm not out on the team yet. Not yet. I can't give up.
And nothing that happens this weekend will realistically change my opinion about
If I
it
see
right
Fields go in there, hit some throws, maybe they change up the offense a little bit, maybe they lose 31-24, I feel better. The way they are losing.
His teammates scored 21 points on Sunday.
24.
They're not scoring 21.
And guess what? We'll talk about it later with Nagy's revenge and everything. But Blake, we'll go to you. What you had the Bears at 12-5, and I'm gonna continue to fucking put that on you.
Yep. Nope. So it's I have them at 12-5. I
You're
still
nervous
think
yet?
They do not have 5 losses yet.
You're
That
not
is a
nervous.
fact.
I'm not. No. So they have the Chiefs, obviously an L, but I mean, look how soft this remainder of the schedule is. I mean, they got the Broncos, the Commanders, the Vikings, the Raiders.
That D line against our O line, that's a problem.
No.
Who's D-line?
Washington.
Commanders.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to be a fun game.
No.
Thursday night
But
football.
they're still going to win that game. I'm not
We're going to
honestly
lose
that
just like
worried.
we did last year on Thursday night versus
Yeah, you say you're not
team.
giving up yet. Now you're talking
No.
about losing to the Commanders. You have no faith. You're out.
You're not allowed to throw people out. You don't know what a 3-4 is.
3 on the D line.
So
3.
How many corners are on the field in a 3-4?
Corners, 2, and then 2 safeties.
Actually, it just depends on what subset of the 3-4 you're running. That was a trick question.
Whatever. We're fine.
No,
Still
you're
partially correct.
The only thing else I want to add here, though, is so I don't get any Bears games, so I don't actually see any of these, but I did see a couple highlights where the Bears are calling plays and they're running slants like on top of each other. They're running comebacks on top of each other.
It's embarrassing.
Maybe this is on the coaches more than Fields currently. So that's why I'm not sold on Fields at all. I think there could be some issues. Wide receivers maybe not knowing their routes. Maybe that's what's causing Fields to not fucking throw the ball in anticipation, because he can't anticipate anybody going anywhere. So that's going to lead to your sacks. That's going to lead to your interceptions, all that stuff. So
I just think you need to stop.
I'm not sold yet.
Like, and that goes, maybe they're overcoaching him a little bit, but just dude, rip it and rip it. You know where you want to go.
He also holds the ball longer than anybody else in the league.
Right.
Literally.
Like, just get it.
He needs to just fucking have some confidence. I agree with you, Nick. Just grip it and rip it.
Just fucking, dude, that Claypool touchdown, he got it. The safety.
That was a dart.
Boom, dart, straight
Dart.
through. Dude, like, do that.
It's the same thing with the deep ball to Mooney on opening day. Like he dropped back,
Yeah.
he took 3 steps, and he let it rip to Mooney, and he was wide open.
Yeah. Just got to be more decisive. We'll preview this week. It's a revenge game for Matt Nagy and really Patrick Mahomes, who passed up. I think they're going to try and run this bitch up. I don't think it's going to be close, but we do a preview every week, so let's preview it a little bit. Is there any chance they can win this game?
I mean, you want to talk about just an absolutely stellar setup for the Chiefs and a time where they really need it. You got an offense that's struggling. Had no Travis Kelce week 1. Didn't look great against Jacksonville, but still got it done. But now you get to tee up on the Chicago Bears defense. I mean, I couldn't think of a better.
Beat up.
Jaquan Brisker will be back. He'll be fine from illness. Brisker will be
back.
But
Eddie
Jackson and no Kyler Gordon. That is.
Is Eddie Jackson confirmed out?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know exactly what it is, but it's his foot. It's the same foot that was bucked up.
That
last
motherfucker,
week.
just cut that dude. Just cut that dude. Draft one. Because, again, best abilities, availability is never available.
We gave him a big contract. Just too much money to cut him.
Pace gave him big money. He set this franchise back a long time.
I'm just saying the Chiefs should be 0-2. Jacksonville should have won that game by about 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, how many fucking times were there in KC's red zone? And they just didn't throw it to Ridley.
Like, not even that, but how many times did they get 1 foot in but couldn't get the second? Trevor Lawrence should have had 4 or 5 touchdowns that game.
Zay Jones should have had 2 easy, and he just couldn't get the second foot down either time.
KC doesn't look like anything special.
KC looks terrible. Their receivers are bad. Like, Kadarius Toney is bad. So I get they might run up the score, but it's not because of their receivers.
Yeah.
I just think you need a week to get that offense rolling. In week 3, you get the Bears defense. It's not a better setup.
Hey, you want to change?
I thought they only gave it 20 points.
You want to change the trajectory of your season? You can change your whole season going and beat Kansas City. Show me something. Show me something Sunday. If this coaching staff and quarterback has any balls, they'll go in and win Sunday. There you go. You want me to buy in? I'll buy in if they win Sunday.
I mean, if you guys are picking the Bears to win 12 and 11 games, you got to think they're better than the Lions, who did that in week 1.
Someone with a brain on the podcast this week. Anything else?
I did not put them above the Lions.
Yeah, well, some other people did.
Hold on, how many teams did you have the Lions winning?
10-7, Bears 9-8.
Sorry. Bruce, what's up with your boy David Montgomery? Hurt again?
Is he?
Yeah.
He's going to be out for a while.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, tough. Good thing we didn't pay that guy. Anyone else got anything else with Bears Chiefs?
No, I think I'm hoping that they can show me something. Kind of like you said, Nick. I don't even necessarily need them to win. I would fucking go nuts if they won, but be competitive. Fields, throw the fucking ball. Stop waiting so much.
Stop thinking. Just go in there and play football.
And if you're for some people are trying to say that like he's seeing them, but he's not trusting them. If that's the case, man, throw it anyways, because let them make the mistake. There's no reason not to throw it in that scenario.
And Claypool,
put it on them.
Caught a touchdown, still looks fucking terrible. I would start St. Brown so fast and cut this clown. Just what are we waiting?
I kind of want to say that this line is ridiculous. 13.5 is crazy. I kind of want to bet the Bears. 13.5 is an absurdly high line.
I might too.
Let's move it on. Let's move on. Actually, let's all make ourselves feel better really quick. Dylan, your Green Bay Packers blowing a 12-point lead in Atlanta. And I bet on them. Fuck.
Jordan Love threw 3 tutties, though.
They were missing.
What are your thoughts?
Bro. They win that game easy if they have Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I mean, we were playing with 3 of our top guys gone. Elton Jenkins went down early. I don't know how Royce Newman still has a job in the NFL, but he does. Just A.J. Dillon, something's up with him. I think he caught a case of the Justin Fields.
He kind of said Dylan kind of sucks.
What? Yeah. I thought you said I suck for a second. I was like,
No. AJ Dillon, not you. You're
I mean,
a good man.
you are literally a bowling ball at running back, and you can't get one fucking yard 3 times.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's the same thing, you know. It's a young team. It's gonna be a lot of that. I feel like it's gonna be back and forth. You know, they might win one, they might sneak it out, they might come back, they might lose close games. So I said 9-8. You know, you just don't know. That's the uncertainty. Like, I used to wake up, I'd be like, "Yep, game's over. Rodgers got this. There's no problem. No problem." Now it's just like, I don't know. Love played decent for 3 quarters, and then the offense didn't do shit in the 4th. Again, I don't really blame the game on him. One thing I will say, though, talking about all this Fields throwing with anticipation, Love, I mean, some throws are not on target, but at least he throws with anticipation. Like that.
He throws with anticipation and throws. He knows where to go with the ball.
Like I wanted to bring up the clip and send it to you, but the all-22 took forever to fucking go up. But on that 4th down where they got called for illegal fucking motion, I mean, he threw that ball and Toure didn't even make the cut yet, and he threw it in between 3 fucking people. And if Toure had hands, he would have fucking came down with it. But it is what it is. I didn't actually expect them to win that game. If I'm being honest, I had them losing that game. But I think they're going to go on a little run here. Everyone should be healthy for this New Orleans game. So,
Well, cool, great, wonderful. Love looks better than Fields.
First game at home too, right, Dylan?
oh yeah. And then I will be at the second home game the following week.
Nice. Hope they lose by 50. Ryan.
Love field goals because that's all the Saints get.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
not
Derek
going.
Carr.
I'm going to the Detroit game Thursday night.
I'm just saying when you view it, because Derek Carr is the worst red zone QB in the league, and I'm glad we can all see it now.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. It's really bad. And then I saw that. Did you see that thing Warren Sharp put out? I watched it. Where he gets crazy in the red zone. It makes 0 sense. It's
He's got happy feet.
Yeah, he literally does. Ryan, your Raiders steamrolled in Buffalo. Thoughts?
I mean, we all expected it, right? I mean, first game at Buffalo,
Hey, first drive.
they look good first drive, and then their defense sucks. So, I mean,
So did the Bears. The Bears looked
Yeah.
good first drive for going up that.
the Raiders haven't had
phenomenal.
top 20 defense in 26 years, I think. So we're just continuing that trend. I thought their offense could have played a little bit better, but when you run for negative yards, it's tough to do that.
Absolutely. Any other NFL thoughts for the week before we move on for a few things before circling back about bets? Any
What were you saying?
Go ahead.
I was to say I would like to say I will not be watching the Bears game this week. Going fishing with my dad in Wisconsin, so I'll probably be driving home during the 3:25 game. Probably be on the radio, but I won't be watching physically. So I won't know how exactly how bad it looks.
Do you want me to send you play-by-play?
No.
I'm going to send you play-by-play.
Why don't you be a man and just watch on your phone while driving?
Ooh.
I mean,
Well, I won't be driving.
Watch it on your phone.
what's going on here?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? You're supposed
What
to be our
weird-
homer.
I'm not gonna watch it on my phone when my dad's got it on the radio in the car.
You can turn the radio off.
Yeah, play it through your phone. Plug it into the
Those are
car.
not choices.
Do you have play? Like, can you just stream your phone through the car?
That's
No.
exactly what I'm saying.
No, the Yukon doesn't do that.
It sounds like you're just making excuses at this point.
Sounds like
Oh,
you're
We're
Now
giving you
you're
a
a
ton.
15-year-old car.
okay.
All right, bring a
Whatever,
speaker.
weirdo.
Put a
Anyone
Bluetooth
else got
speaker in there.
anything else
What's going on
on the NFL? Prayers to Nick Chubb. That sucked.
He's never going to play again. I'm just
I
saying.
don't think so either.
That's a
There's
Zach.
gonna be so much scar tissue built up on the ligaments in that knee.
He's
I'm not
gonna
even
walk.
sure. Like, yeah, I don't know how repairing that is gonna work.
Is it easier to repair an already reconstructed knee?
No, not
No.
according to Brittany.
No, it gets harder every time.
Can he just get a titanium replacement?
Could, but he's not playing football.
Why not?
Because we don't have that technology
Got a
yet.
fucking cyborg leg?
That would be sick.
Hey, I mean, we
Or
didn't know about
attack
that. We didn't know
Jets,
about
I
this Achilles thing, where apparently a special Achilles procedure can
Months, man.
possibly bring you back for the playoffs.
That's
so maybe
true.
there is something. Maybe there is
Sounds like
something
the
out
only
there
issue
we just
is-
don't know about.
You're a
The
big
only issue that
chowder.
Jets would make the playoffs.
Nick Chubb's gonna be back. Nick Chubb's gonna be back by the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Rodgers just doesn't know that the Jets are going to go like 1-16, but
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Well,
that
yeah,
offense
I
is
told you
so
they're
bad
gonna fuck
without
it
him.
up. He's not even gonna have a
wow.
chance.
Yeah, Zach
he might
Wilson,
be good to go, and they're gonna be like picking top.
he's
5.
going to be like Bill Murray in Space Jam. It's
Taking
like,
another 6 months off, bro. Take it
You're like,
easy.
what the fuck is this guy? We're 1-16.
Would the Jets cut him so he could sign with another team?
No.
No,
Maybe like 49ers.
Uh, how about Sean McVay, all-time gambling guy? What a
Okay,
guy.
Like if he had
That was wild.
He had an interview today. He's like, I had no idea that was I didn't know what was going on. Dude, shut up, you did.
it's not the first time like
His
a
boys had it back home, and they were like, "You must be covering this 8. You better be covering this 8."
Oh man.
Yeah,
All right,
so-
let's,
Chargers can lose every game that they're possibly in.
yeah. Let's get into the Cubs collapse that is currently going on the north side. One bad team to another. It's almost like someone predicted they should have sold instead of trying to piece this weirdly constructed roster together. But hey, could still get the third wild card spot. Dylan, we'll start with you, because I know you actually pay attention, unlike some other Cubs fan here. What?
They're winning 3-0 right now.
I told you.
That's
They,
good. They're playing the Pirates. What do you think, Dylan? What's going on? What's the struggles been? I mean, they still should lock up a playoff spot, but got to be a little disappointing.
Kamish wants them to make it more interesting. He wants you to regret trading Jake Berger away a little bit more. So, you know,
I don't. No matter how good he is, liability on the baseball field.
I know it kind of feels like their offense wasn't really kind of hit a cold streak here. So, I mean, 4 runs. I did just check what is inning. 4 runs in 3 innings so far. I mean, good bounce back series if they could sweep the Pirates. So,
Feel like they got to sweep the Pirates, take 2 or 3 from whoever they're playing this weekend, because they got a heavy dose of
they got Milwaukee next week too.
and Atlanta, right?
I'm not
Thought
sure.
it was maybe. Niloff, what do you got on the Cubs?
They're still in it. I mean, they went on the pretty long hot streak for a while, and that's baseball. There's runs that happen throughout the season. It's how quick can you bounce back, and how can you kind of manage those runs where you get cold. So hopefully this is in fact a bounce back series. Still well into the thick of it. Not 100% out by any means. We'll be monitoring and praying for the boys in blue.
They'll play the Rockies next, and then the Braves, and then the Brewers. So should win 6 games here, and then
I think they get in. Does anyone disagree on the pod with that?
Can you let the Rockies win so the Sox get a better draft spot?
That'd be
No.
cool.
Yeah. We're 3 games. Well, we're actually 2 games back the Rockies. So
It doesn't matter who you draft. Jerry Reinsdorf is your owner. You'll never win anything.
Nah, dude, Chris Getz is the next Theo Epstein. You didn't hear that?
He said that with such passion. No. Cubs are fine. We'll be all right. We'll get it done. Moving on.
Bruce, closet Cubs fan. How have you been paying attention?
I haven't.
Jesus. Let's move on. Connor Bedard lighting it up this past weekend. Guy looks awesome. That's the one glimmer of hope we have at this point in this fucking city is Connor fucking Bedard. That guy's the real deal. Knock on wood, no injuries, no anything. That guy looks fantastic. Niloff, I know you saw the highlights.
I mean, dude, he moves side to side, laterally. It's just so quick. And I mean, those were just some snipes
He creates a lot on. Like I was watching some of the highlights from just the game in general. He creates a lot.
He's so much faster than everybody laterally, side to side, that he can just open himself up. And with that, you pair that with that shot that he has. I mean, it's fun to watch, man. It really is. And I'm excited. We're still going to be a bottom 5 team this year. I expect us to have another top 5 pick in this upcoming draft in the first round. Don't get me wrong. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And Wierchinski, the defenseman, he looks fucking awesome too. He really does.
So do Wyatt Kaiser.
Yeah, Ryan, I'll go to you. You're a big hockey guy. When you think about Bedard tearing it up.
I think Bedard is. I think it's what we expected. I mean, I think he'll be I don't want to say a sure thing, but as close to a sure thing as the Hawks have had since drafting Kane. I think he'll get over 70 points this year, depending on if he plays with Taylor Hall and who his third line mate is. But that's going to be a solid line. I want to see how good Reichel plays. I want to see how good Kaiser is. If Korchinski stays up the entire year. Arvid Soderblom, I don't know what he's going to be, but he's a big goalie. I'm excited.
We drafted a goalie in the second round this year, too. So
it
kind of tells you.
Well, you have him plus Comessa. You should be drafting a goalie every year. Like, it's one of those things.
Yep.
Usually not that early, though.
Well, like Comessa was
picking up in the second round pick is pretty high for a goalie. I mean, they're usually getting picked in the first round. That's because they're special, and you go out and get them. Second round, you don't really see it a lot because they're not that guy. They're not that close to sure thing. Like
I think you see second round goalies more than first, to be honest with you. But like Adam Gajon's pretty good. He's older for a prospect, but he's a pretty decent goalie. He had a good World Juniors. Comessa was pretty good at Boston. He's going to play in Rockford this year. So Soderblom's your guy until someone else proves him wrong.
Bruce, anything on Bedard?
I saw the clips. His shot is unreal. Just the different ways he can create a shot for himself, just in no space is insane. And I look forward to watching that guy play. He's gonna be fun.
Blake, Sharks fan. Kill yourself?
Sharks and Flyers. Can't forget the Flyers.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Coast to coast. He's coast to coast, baby.
He's just waiting on Mitchkov. That's all he's doing. He's waiting 5 years.
The rest.
Go. No, I have no idea anything about hockey right now, but go Sharks. Shark attack.
Shark attack. Moving on, everyone's favorite part of the program. The show is based off of our sports betting picks, our underdog picks. Promo code Frosty, up to $100 free on your first deposit. Frosty. I took $2K from underdog this weekend. I took about $700 from another place where I placed bets, and another $200 last night. So your boy's red fucking hot. He's on fire. And we have Bruce, who's leading the pick standings and somehow down money?
Yeah, Bruce, are you down money in your account?
Not anything to do with the NFL, though.
If you just
what else
are you betting on?
Do we need to see
everything?
slips?
I got hurt pretty bad betting UFC Saturday night.
You're always due from one stinker. One card.
And college football was not kind to me either.
7-3.
Maybe just stick with the fucking NFL picks, man. You'd be 7-3. You'd be up quite a bit of money here.
He has a problem. He has to bet everything. He's at that stage of his betting. If it's on, he needs to bet it. I've been there.
It's not true.
Okay, then don't bet anything but NFL.
No.
Okay, there you go. There you go, Dylan. Clip that.
The first.
I'm not betting. It's not like
first
I'm
step to
baseball
improving is realizing.
Did you bet baseball over the summer at one point?
I haven't made a bet on baseball since June.
2 weeks ago. That's a fucking lie. You said you were betting the Cubs 2 weeks ago. I may need to have Dylan go into your DraftKings account and see some slips.
Nobody's getting into my DraftKings account.
Boys, we're back. It's good. Feels good to have a winning week in my case, especially on underdog. There's money to be made there on the pick'ems. Our team pick'em lost, so we're going to get into that after each of our top 5 picks because they need to be better, and we're going to start holding people more accountable. Like Bruce, who we knew that pick would fail, but hand up, mine did too, and I think everyone else's did besides.
Nick, you're 0 for 2, so I don't know why you're
I'm 1 for 2. Am I 0 for 2?
You're 0
You're
for
0
2.
Okay. Well, the 2K I won on Sunday was pretty nice, so I'll try to put those into what I do.
You probably spent more on slips. You probably just fucking go out there and fucking pick everything in the
I had
mother.
3 slips.
Each
The underdog one, the one I posted on Instagram.
Yeah, why was that the one finger you started with? Out of anyone.
I had to send Niloff a message.
Oh, okay.
Bruce, let's start with you. You're the lead dog. We're gonna go with
I'm the lead dog. I'm not picking first. What?
That's how it goes. Lead
That's how
dog
it
goes
goes.
first.
Lead dog goes first.
You've already
Like,
you've already submitted the picks, bro.
I know.
I know, but I don't want to go first.
You're going first.
Okay,
Lead dog.
so I have the Colts plus 8.5. That's just a big number and not good teams.
Okay.
Wait, who are they playing?
Baltimore.
Oh,
Not
Think
great.
Baltimore's not a good team.
They haven't been great.
No,
They haven't
can't
been
change the
9
pick.
points better than somebody great.
Is Richardson going to play?
Don't
No.
know. I almost think
Gardner
it'd be
Minshew.
better for the offense if Gardner Minshew plays. That guy slings it.
Next
For
pick.
the
Next pick.
receivers, for the passing game. Because Richardson did have 2 rushing touchdowns before he got concussed.
Move on. Next pick.
The line changed on me. I had the Steelers -1. It's now the Steelers plus 1.5. We're still taking the Steelers. We're taking the Lions -3.5. We're taking San Francisco -10.5 on Thursday night. The Giants stink. They were down 20-0 to the fucking Arizona Cardinals. Brian Daboll is floundering.
Saquon Barkley too. The
I
numbers.
don't know where the Giants are going to get the offense from. And then my last pick, also my lock of the week. It hurts the soul to do this. Dylan is relishing this. He loves this. I'm taking KC -13 lock of the week.
Before we continue, I said, which one is your lock? And it took him a while to type it, but he put, "This hurts me to my core, but I'm gonna go KC." I lost it.
To be fair, it took me a while to type that because I was taking a shit.
No.
It was just taking a little break at work.
Just imagine just the pain of that, him sending that text.
It doesn't feel good. It does not feel good.
All right, Ryan.
No. It goes in order. Why are we going to dead last?
Okay. Oh, sure.
Why are we going to dead last?
That is
Blake.
All right.
Blake, you're up.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, Josh.
3 and 7, man. It's unacceptable.
Drill Sergeant Josh over here.
I got the Dolphins -6.5 versus the Booty Cheek Broncos. I got Rams +2 versus the Bengals. Rams are honestly super hot right now. I'd almost look at money line here.
I have the Bengals in that game.
Okay, that's why I'm winning. So then I have the Bills -6.5 versus the Manders. Obviously, it's going to be the Bills by 1 million. We have the Eagles -5.5 versus the Bucks. No way the Bucks get anything going against the Eagles D. And then for my lock here, I got the Patriots -3 versus the Jets. I don't know what's going on, but apparently Breece Hall got 3 touches. And in my opinion, four touches, yep. And in my opinion, he's the best offensive player on that team. And I know Sauce Gardner is potentially upset as well. It's Breece Lightning. He's the best.
No, it's Garrett Wilson. Is the best offensive player on that team.
Yeah.
Breece is number 2. Don't get me wrong.
Breece is 1.
I think it's just it doesn't really matter because Bill Belichick owns the Jets.
Yep. So that's my lock. Patriots -3.
That's a good one.
All right. And third, because we got the guy who talks the most shit is in fourth.
I mean, I won the most money over the weekend. I was pretty much even on DraftKings outside of my DFS contest there. And my Falcons bet.
You're not up, boy. You're in fourth.
Oh,
Fuck you.
who's
I
in
wanted
third?
you to win money.
Niloff is.
I'm in
Thank-
third.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Steelers +1.5. They're gonna get home. They're gonna cause problems.
I love the Raiders, Ryan, this week after Bruce and Niloff are on this.
They're gonna get home. I was laughed at for taking Steelers money line. Who's
I
laughing?
mean, dude, it came down to a lucky defense.
Who's laughing?
Came down to
Sad.
Nick Chubb getting his leg snapped in half.
Yeah,
That's all.
Hey, man.
And really after that,
Can
they
we avoid
still
my
almost
pick?
threw that
Can we
game.
avoid my pick?
Hey, man. Whatever gets it done. Whatever gets it done. Whatever gets it done. Green Bay, New Orleans, under 43.5. Taking the under. Derek Carr, awful in the red zone. Jordan Love, I think this is his first big test against a strong D. And could potentially still be missing some key guys. I think that both offenses are going to struggle. Each team has a pretty good D. Not super high tier in my opinion, but pretty good. Give me the under. My lock of the week is Chargers -1. There's no way that team starts 0-3. Not with that roster. I just don't see it happening. The fact that they're 0-2 is the only reason that this line is this close. Minnesota is a fucking shitty-ass team. Minnesota is a shitty-ass team. Give me Chargers -1. Give me Detroit and Atlanta over 45.5. Detroit, they're going to put up more than 20 points. I don't think Atlanta is going to have a problem scoring points against them either. So give me the over in that game. I like it a lot. It's already starting to creep up. It was at 46 earlier. It's at 46.5 now. It means a lot of people are seeing what I'm seeing here. So, and then, ladies and gentlemen, for the last pick of the week, give me Fields. Give me the Bears +13.5. We're gonna see
feel really good about that.
We're gonna see anticipation, right? And we're gonna see progress. We are not going to win this game. Do not get me twisted. We are not going to win this game, but I think we're gonna see things start to trend in the right direction offensively, led by our quarterback. And I think that they're gonna surprise us against the Chiefs. And then this thing's gonna really start to get rolling week 4. Give me the Bears.
Mahomes is going to put 35 points right on.
Give me the
your
Bears
fucking
plus
home
13.5. And at the end of the day, 13.5 is just too fucking many points. It
I
is.
feel
It's still
like-
an NFL fucking game. It doesn't matter how bad you are and how good the other team is. There's always a chance that it could be a tight game.
That's what I said last week about the Raiders Bills.
I was just about to ask you, Ryan, what was the final point differential? Was it 28?
No, it was. I think it was over.
Wasn't it 38-10?
I turned it off in the third quarter.
I believe that final at 38-10.
I'll also preface this week by saying these lines fucking stunk.
So,
Like, there's a lot of games that I just would not touch. It took me a while to pick 5 things. I'll be honest. It took me a while to pick 5
I
things.
said for
And
sure.
I sent it to Dylan, and I think I said, I'm not excited about this. I'm not. Coming off a winning weekend, though. We doubled down on the Dolphins. We're trending in the right direction over in the Niloff household.
Yeah, I sent him the graphic back. He said, "I hate these picks." Right after I said
I said that last week. I said I hate half of my picks. We ended up going 3-2. Could have easily been 5-0. I will say as well. Green Bay blew a 12-point lead.
Everybody could easily be 5-0 every week if everything goes their way.
I think that the fashion in which my loss, like, I'm okay with. I that shit just happens sometimes.
could have been 5-0. Yeah. I could be a million. I could have won the lotto. Me and Blake could be millionaires right now.
Let's look at Bruce's picks and see what he could have been.
Can I go now?
yeah.
Yeah,
If the
you're up,
Jaguars,
you're up.
if the Jaguars could have scored more than one touchdown, I could have won that one.
Anyway, I got the Giants plus 10.5. I don't love it, but a short week. I think they'll score a garbage time touchdown or field goal to
Who's gonna score it?
Daniel Jones is going to throw the ball. The Niners don't have a good
To
secondary.
who? Darren Waller?
Yeah, Darren Waller,
Name another receiver on that team.
Clayton, Hyatt, Paris
They-
Campbell.
Paris Campbell. I think the guys you named have like 10 targets on the
That's a
year
bad pick, Nick. That's a bad
between the
pick.
three of
I
them.
like the Giants plus 10.5.
I'm just saying that. I just think it's a bad pick.
I think you guys are underrating a short week with Daniel Jones just slaying the ball.
Hey,
The
can you
second
hear?
ball.
Hey, Blake, Bruce, can you hear him down there? I can't hear him.
That's just bad. Josh, you just fucked
That-
yourself. You just
You're
fucked
done.
yourself.
You're done.
He's
Don't care.
gonna go
Okay,
You're
I like
done.
Giants plus 10.5. I like the
could.
Lions
I
minus
can't go 0-5 because we have one pick we share.
bounce back this week. The Lions at home. Minus 3.5 is too small.
I like
Seahawks
that
minus-
pick.
Seahawks
like that
minus
pick.
6.5, also at home. I like that. They got the offense rolling last week. I'm also on the Chargers. Minnesota's bad, but I don't like their defense is bad. I think this game's a shootout. Cousins has actually been awesome this year, and I don't think Philly is as good as people think. So I'm not a huge fan of your pick, Blake. I think that game's a little bit closer.
I do think that game was gonna go over, and then I looked at it and it was set really high because that was a game that I peaked right away at the over when I saw the matchup. And I was like,
Yeah,
fuck,
but
it's
if you
already at
think about
56.
28 covers that.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
just a lot of points, man. It is. That's where you're creeping in the NFL. When you get over 55, it starts to be like like I still think
I
it could
just
go
think with as
over.
bad
I think
as-
it could, but I'm
This-
staying
this-
away from it.
This I almost put this on my list. I'll claim it as an honorable mention is the over on that game. Because nobody.
Yeah, no,
played
when you were
defense
asking me,
there.
Bruce, I had Detroit Atlanta over. That's what I was thinking.
See, and this was the one I was talking about.
Yeah, okay. Well, you still could have played it, but baited like a bitch. It's all good.
Yep. And then I
Like
will
other
take.
picks better.
I had a good conversation with Bill Belichick Sunday night after the game in
I thought
Foxborough.
I thought
He's going
about
to get the
taking
guys
that.
right. Patriots -3.
Wait,
I
why were you talking to Bill when you were rooting for Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins?
Bill didn't know that, but Brittany and I did get a lot of looks because I showed her how much money I had on the Dolphins, and then she was also silently rooting for it. She kept every time Waddle caught a ball, she started waddling, and the people next to us were like, "What the fuck?" So it was interesting, but it was a good game to be at. Gillette is a beautiful stadium, best one I've been to by far in terms of a football
I
stadium.
like that pick, Nick. I like that pass.
But that's an easy
I like
one.
what
three
are,
of your
what are
picks
your
this
thoughts on the new light tower?
Very cool. You
I had
can't
a lot of
see
people
it.
hating on it.
Now you can't. Well, it's stupid because you can't see it from like inside the stadium, which I didn't know until being there. But like even if you're on the other side, like it's too short now. But when you're walking in and stuff, you can. But
Well, that's the old one. Didn't they build a new one that you can see?
no, it's the same height as the old one.
I like three of those picks, Nick. I do. I highly considered the
Well, I'm good at what I do, Josh. So
fourth place, but okay.
That's me too. 3.
Ryan Earl, we'll take it to you. I'm expecting big things from Ryan Earl this week. I think this is a
You shouldn't.
big bounce back.
You shouldn't, because I made this picks in 2 minutes after I saw the lines and I closed my
Yeah,
eyes.
are you getting frisky with it though? Like, so you started off cold and now it's like this is kind of like a fuck, man. Like I'm gonna get frisky with it, and you start to loosen up a little bit. I think this is the week that you need that,
All
man,
right,
because
all
these
right.
lines suck. So I like it.
Well, then we'll see. My first pick is I got Las Vegas early, so I got him +1. But this game's a pick 'em.
I'm adding
Pittsburgh
that to my
sucks
card.
outside
Not
their
official.
defense. They scored 10 points against
Not on
Cleveland.
the 5, but you can add other things. Like
10
I
points.
added the Saints money line yesterday.
We didn't have
I got Tampa +5.5. Phillies look bad. I think they keep it close. I don't think Tampa is going to win it, but I think they play a tight game. I also have Seattle -5.5. Carolina sucks.
6.5 for Carolina.
I got them
It's down to
5.5.
5.5.
It was 5.5 this morning. I'm also on the Patriots -3, and then my lock is Tennessee +3.5 at Cleveland. No Nick, no offense.
That's a good card. That's a good card.
Nick, who did you lock, buddy?
The Pats.
The Pats.
Bill Belichick, my friend. The Patriots.
Patriots. Okay. All right. Well,
Mac Jones sucks though.
thanks.
He's not good.
Two was pretty good.
You want to talk about a guy who can process?
I don't like lefty quarterbacks.
Neither do
Dude, lefty quarterbacks are awesome.
I. Dylan, who's
You
your
don't
lock?
like the way it looks.
I love the way it looks because it's Gillette.
The
Dylan,
best
lock.
man can
Who's
get.
3?
Dylan.
Mm, I did lock in the Atlanta Falcons at +4.5.
Dude, you're just rooting against it because you think
No,
the
no, no,
Packers
no.
win
No.
and it's
I
either-
submitted that fucking thing Sunday, I
Alright.
think.
All right. I tell you what, I think Robinson and Algier are going to tear that Lion ass up. That
I am
defense-
2-0, by the way, just letting you know.
You are? Dylan, let's read through the everyone go around, give their underdog pick, and then like last week, we're gonna shit on the person we thought would lose it. Bruce, we thought would lose it, and he did. And there's got to be some kind of punishment we got to come up with for this.
Also,
Hey,
before we go to underdog, are we determining the line, like if it changes? Like, are we doing a set line? Because it was fucking all over the place today.
No, whatever you texted in, like whatever the person texted in at, they get it in at. So if Ryan got it in at 5.5, and I got it in at 6.5, just got to live with it.
So then shout out Dylan for changing the Steelers line for me.
The Chargers line change. They're +1 now, but I'm keeping it -1 because I locked that in on DK.
I mean, if you catch it, Dylan, you can do whatever you want. But
More work for me. I won't do it.
all right. Niloff, let's go to you since you had a winning underdog pick last week. We'll start
Thank
you
you.
off, buddy.
Thank you.
And I will place the underdog bet this week for you. I'm sorry I didn't last, but it was a loser.
Thank you. Give me Bosa over half a sack against the New York Giants. That offensive line stinks. They have no Saquon Barkley.
Lock this in right now.
He is going to get to the quarterback. He will be over half a sack against this Giants team. Lock it in. That is Jay Niloff's pick. And I don't anticipate any repercussions from the crowd on that one. Because that's a damn good pick.
Well, you're gonna get some repercussions because I'm looking at underdog right now and that's not there.
Correct. They took it down.
Dude, that's bullshit, man. Because it was on there. It was fucking on there.
If it doesn't
The
go up by
only
Sunday,
defensive
we're gonna
player
have to
to have his green
All
line.
right, well,
Warner
let me
and
get a
Fuller.
backup pick. Calvin Ridley over receiving yards. I think he has a big bounce back week.
Do you even know what
against-
it is?
It was 67.5, 68.5. This was my backup that I came up with earlier.
Guessing
just in
it's
case.
at
71.5.
Yeah.
It was in the 60s when I saw it.
Well, it's not.
I'm telling you what it is right now when you're making your backup pick.
All right, well then that's my backup pick because I don't feel like looking again.
Okay, Ridley over. We'll go to Blake.
Bring the Bosa sack back because that was like probably the cleanest fucking thing we would have had on this slip, bro.
I was actually really surprised when you said that, Josh, because I have Talanoa Hufanga. Can't say his name correctly, but him over over 5 tackles plus assist. You're gonna see a bunch of dump downs to tight ends, short routes, because that's all the Giants can
He's gonna
basically
come up
run.
and smack him.
And he's just gonna come up and just kill people. And 5 plus assists, that should be pretty simple. And I did hit last week with Burrow under.
Just so you know, he had 5 tackles and no assists against Pittsburgh and 2 tackles and 3 assists.
Different
last
game.
week
Did you not
against the
hear him?
Rams.
He said the shit is going to be dump offs over the middle of the tight end and
Yeah.
to the
He
running
gave
back.
his analysis.
What is that? Again,
Don't
with-
mute the fuck up over there.
Last-
I'm just
This is
saying, it
exactly what
hasn't
you
been
do
there
now, boy.
before.
This
He
is
came
what
in.
you do. This is what Bruce does. What did they do last week? Oh, they went over. You're gonna go over again. That's not how it works. That's why you lose slips. What's your pick?
Bitch.
Also, I'm also taking a 49ers player.
What is your guys'?
Oh my God.
And we're going CMC over 79.5 rush yards.
Oh yeah, just copy my pick from last week.
That-
He's not gonna fucking get it this week. I already
don't
looked
like
at
that
that boy. I don't like that at all.
I think that
No, that's again that every week we'll look at his pick and it's the player would have done the same thing the week before. McCaffrey went over last week, so Bruce is taking him to go over again this week because he thinks he's gonna.
McCaffrey's gone over 2 weeks in a row. I think he might go over every week until he gets hurt. And I do say until he gets hurt because he's Christian McCaffrey and he will get hurt.
All right, Ryan, do you have
Bruce,
a play?
Bruce goes from the fucking sports book to his ESPN fantasy app to look and see what they did last week and then
Literally,
compare.
there you go.
He's just back and forth and back and forth. And he's not saying anything because that's exactly what he does.
100%.
He's smiling.
I mean, you have to take into account what they do. Like if
No,
somebody's
you don't.
If
No, you
somebody's
don't.
never run for 80 yards, you're not going to
Dude,
bet
that
him to
shit,
go for
Ryan.
80
Bruce.
yards.
Oh my God,
Bruce,
that's awesome.
Week 1, DJ Moore caught 2 passes for like 20 yards. His over last week was 45. That was the lock of the century. You knew he was getting the ball. What did week 1 have
Christian
to do?
McCaffrey has a much more consistent high usage rate than just about anybody in the league.
All right. I'm just saying this is going to be you the entire year. Ryan, do you have anything?
So before I make my pick, they did come out to say today that CMC is going to split carries again because he's gotten 115 snaps compared to 14 from Elijah Mitchell. And those 2 big games, he's broken off 2 big runs in each. That said, I'm going Brian Robinson Jr. under 58.5 against the Bills.
That's a good bet. I will take DJ Moore over receiving yards. It's only 49.5, which is just way too low. They're going to continue to force feed him. Justin has to. That's literally might hit it by halftime.
What's the Calvin Ridley line, by the way?
71.5.
Thank you.
But if Bosa comes back, I want the Bosa. We'll give it till Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Because tell me that isn't a fucking money pick though. Come on.
It's really not because sacks
No,
are.
I'm actually worried about that one.
Yeah, I am.
You got a scrambling quarterback.
Yeah,
Both
sacks
the
are-
runs are yeah.
Against this Giants team with no Saquon Barkley, bro.
He doesn't take.
He's
sacks.
gonna get home. Let's try Bruce's method.
No.
I have no idea. I don't know any stats. on
Last
this, but I
words
feel
for
like we could,
everyone. Last words for everyone. Let's start with Niloff.
Justin, I'm still with you. I still believe in you. Pull the trigger. You have the arm talent. Pull the trigger. Trust the boys. Let them make the mistakes. Don't let it come on you. Move me on.
Pause.
Hold up.
Whoa.
Flag on the
I paused because it's instantly what I started thinking about. I said it and then I was like, oh shit.
Flag on the play. Blake.
Ravens for the survivor pick this week.
Your Ravens division championship is looking very good.
Oh, what did you say, Nick?
Your Ravens division championship pick is looking very good.
Oh, okay.
It's week 2.
Nick's gonna jinx it.
Yeah, he just did.
Bruce.
5-0 this week.
That's a lie. Ryan.
5-0 this week.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's gonna happen either. I don't think anybody's gonna go 5-0, honestly.
These lines are too bad.
Because you don't know ball.
Is that your final
Those
word,
lines
Ryan?
suck.
Yeah, these lines suck. It's one of those weeks. Watch college football this week. It's going to be good. A lot of
Notre
rain
Dame, Ohio State.
We are.
Okay.
Saturday.
Dylan.
Praying that nobody gets hurt on Monday Night Football. It's 4 Monday Night Footballs in a row.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck these double
Games,
headers.
better odds.
Who was So it's Rodgers and Chubb and Minka Fitzpatrick that nobody's talking about.
And then DeMar Hamlin died on the field.
Oh yeah, that was.
He's still alive.
He
He
was
died
dead
for-
for a little bit.
I have
It's a
two
fake death.
things. The Tottenham Hotspurs are off to their best start in like 100 years. No concedents. I became a fan last year. We're doing it together. 2, Ryan Earl's fantasy baseball team is a regular season team. We'll see you next week, everybody.